This is my Shop My Stash for March. Welcome to everybody watching today. Thank you so very much for joining me. Today we are going to be doing a Shop My Stash for March. I'm going to do a quick update on what was in my drawer for February, and then I'm going to go into my makeup drawers and select some things for March. In March, you can look forward to my makeup declutters, so I will be posting those in the next couple of weeks. There will be one installment a week, and we're going to end on a high note with my eyeshadow palette collection declutter. And I hadn't really been going into my makeup drawers all that often in the past few weeks since I've decluttered, and I think I did a good job. We have a nice sunny day, and rather than closing my blinds for you and turning on studio lighting, I want to film with the natural lighting today, so that does mean that like when I move, you might see like some things being brighter or not, but we're in the Netherlands. I love celebrating sunny days, so you're just gonna have to deal with that. So yeah, this was in the drawer. This month I was using the MAC Strobe Cream. This is a really nice primer. It's going down quite quickly though, because it is more of a lotiony type of primer. So I feel I use more of this than with other primers, I feel. So I do think this can run out really easily. My lip balm of choice is the Catrice Peptide Lip Mask. This is really nice as well, still going strong. I thought I could use it up, but haven't done that yet. My Milano eyeshadow primer is still going strong, so that's not going anywhere. I didn't really use anything up or like hit pan on anything this month like I did last month, but we're still going strong with the MAC Paint Pot. This is going really well. See, this is what I mean. Then I hold it up closer to the camera and there's a lot of glare, but I can feel the jar. I've been able to feel it for like 2 months or so, but this takes ages before you see visible pan, but you already know you're using it up before that. And one MAC Paint Pot lasts me close to 2 years, so I know it takes a while. This pan has been growing quite nicely in my little MAC single, and I did select 2 singles, one from Essence and one from Catrice, during my declutters to put in this drawer to always have a nice crease shade in here and to have a backup for this shadow when it does run out. Mascara is still going strong, but I have just found that this Kiko mascara is just not for me. It's the Volume Mascara in the brown. It's from the Kind by Kiko line. And this brush is just, I mean, it's so massive. It doesn't fit my lids, so I'm going to stop using that one. I did pick up the new Essence Tubing Mascara from the Lash Without Limits line, and I haven't tried that yet, so I still need to put it on my face. I had a lot of makeup that I had selected for February that just required black mascara, and that didn't go really well with brown mascara at all, so I didn't get to use it yet. Call Me Queen, still going strong, and this Sculpt and Volume waterproof mascara from the Glam line, it's not better than the original Glam, so I will still be picking that one up. These brush hairs are just a little bit too spiky for me. I'm not sure if you can see if that's too bright, but it kind of hurts my eyes, and if I just use it as a top coat, I'm fine. But when I go into it like as a regular mascara and I really try to coat my lashes, it just kind of stabs me in the eye every time I use it. It's not a fun time. I'm going to use it until it dries out, but I do already have a backup ready to go just in case. My Catrice little brow combo is still going strong, but I do feel that these are getting like low. The brow product is okay, like the brow gel, but it's getting like, I can feel like it's on its last legs. And this pencil just doesn't really seem to be working anymore the way it did when I first started using it. It's sort of like really dry, but this is also all I have left. So maybe in the next month I can use up a brow product. It also broke off at some point. I wasn't having a good time with that. And finally, for like things that weren't here, is the Pretty Fresh setting spray from ColourPop. As you can see, I'm not entirely sure, but it's down to like right about here. So I have about 1/5 left, I think. My Kosas powder, I'm not sure what to do with this. This broke at the end of 2025, and I was saying I'm going to keep using it until I've used it up or if the formula changes. And I'm starting to feel that the formula is changing because the packaging just doesn't close anymore. And I have found this just from opening the drawer, sometimes the lid just comes off and then I'm either covered in powder or it's just a little bit messy, and I feel it's getting drier now that I can no longer close it. I think I can keep it in for another month, but then I'm going to have to call it quits on this one. Foundation-wise, these are the two foundations I've selected for myself to be using up in 2025. I've made good progress on my Missha BB cream because I've exclusively worn this all month. The Lisa Eldridge, I used it a couple times in January and I just found it a little bit too yellow for where my skin is at currently. I think from April onwards, this is going to be better, so it's going to stay in. But I think for March, I'm mainly just going to be using my Missha. But I do think I'm going to have to try the new Essence foundation a little bit more, so I will be selecting that so I can review it. By the way, if you want to see these products being used and you want to see them going on, then check out my shorts. It is my aim to try and film shorts with things that are in my Shop My Stash throughout the month. I have filmed with a lot of these things, I just haven't been able to post it yet, so I don't have the edited video to put in here, but just follow my shorts here on the channel and then you can see what these things swatch like and what they look like on the face. I have managed to film with quite a few of these already, but not everything just yet. As in, I filmed with it, but I haven't posted it yet because I don't have time to edit all the time. But yeah, just you can look forward to more of these products showing up in shorts. And if there's a month where I've managed to post all the shorts before I film this video, I can download them and like insert them into this video when I talk about the product. This, I think I can show you as like a little insert here because I know I filmed with it. This is the Maybelline Superstay Activewear Concealer. You can't see it now, but the other day I was using this and I could see a little black gap. So I think this is actually like close to being used up. It's in 05. The thing I don't like about this is that it is quite like light for me even now. So I know that probably in March is going to be the last time I can use this, and then I'm gonna have to declutter it because now that I'm opening it, I'm getting this like whiff of a little bit of alcohol, and I think that's actually the formula. But the stronger that smell becomes, the more this will expire. So I definitely think I'm just gonna have to make a good effort trying to use it up again this month. But again, Essence came out with a new concealer, so I will be rolling that in to give that more of a whirl. Bronzer-wise, I had these two things in. And these are nice. Both of them are. The Kiko Flawless Fusion is one of my favorites. I didn't manage to hit pan. I wanted to. Didn't quite manage it, but yeah, we're still making a valiant effort on that one. And this Catrice Sculpt Charm contour stick, a lot nicer than I had expected. It's very creamy, very easy to pick up with a brush, so I just dab it on the back of my hand and then apply it to my face. It's in the shade Ash, and it's a really good shade for me as well. It was very, very easy to use. But this thing, the Oden's Eye Luminous Highlighter in Subtle Radiance, this is really beautiful, but it's so glittery. I just don't see myself using this anymore. Rather than this being like really smooth, you have actual chunks of glitter. So I know I'm gonna have to add this to the declutter pile. I think in my declutter, I said I was trying it out in my Shop My Stash, and that I would decide in my March Shop My Stash what I would do with it. So that's what we're deciding now. This is another one of those products that I had selected because it's so old and I had almost forgotten about it, but I feel I have just found alternatives. And this, I mean, it's looking gross because I think it's just past its prime. So this is one thing I have to chuck. Again, that's something I will be mentioning in my declutter, that this is something that just needs to go. And I have now found that I've bought a couple of things in the past couple months really that are a perfect replacement for what this blush gives me. Because what I ended up using the most this month is this new Soft Blur powder blush, from Catrice in Cinnamon Sugar. This is really beautiful. It looks a little bit more terracotta and intense, but it's actually really pretty, and it gives a very similar like neutral effect like Seduce from Tarte did. So I've been wearing this a lot lately, especially in the past 2 weeks. So that was very successful. Good Catrice products. And I had selected a couple of other new products from Catrice to test out. The primer is fine, but it's very similar to my MAC. So I'm gonna use up the MAC first, and then I'll go back to this at some point. I don't feel the need to like use it anymore, but it's exactly the same as the Strobe cream. It's this lotiony, sort of pearly kind of primer. It's very reminiscent to the MAC for me. A good dupe. And then the Catrice version of that Fui Pudding Pot that we've been seeing every single brand dupe. This is in Raspberry Fudge. It's the Velvet Pudding Blurring Blush. And this is really pretty. I really enjoyed it. It is a really nice shade, especially for the springtime. but I already have a couple of these Fui ones, so I think I'll be using that more. I will film a video once I've tried more of all of the Essence and Catrice things in the next month or so to do a roundup review now that I've tried everything. But this is very similar to the Fui, and I really did enjoy wearing this. And it's a slightly different shade to what I have in the Fui. We have the Fenty Beauty Demi Glow Highlighter. This was lovely yet again. If I wanted to go for a powder highlighter, I went with that. I rediscovered Max Dilly Dolly. This was in a limited edition collection, and this is very pretty. If I want a very glowy blush, this is what I reach for. And then the Aura Glam highlighter by Catrice, the bouncy highlighter in Moonlit Sand. And I have to be very careful with this because, again, I did already post a short with this one as well, and it fell out of the pan as I was filming that short. So this is now completely loose, as you can see. And I can like put it back in and stuff. Like it doesn't crack, so that's a good thing. It's like this jelly, almost like ColourPop Super Shock kind of formula, I find. It's really beautiful on the face, but yeah, I have to be very careful with this because it became unstuck in the pan, which is just lovely. And that, my dear friends, is everything that was in the drawer, but that means we need to talk about lips. And these are all the lip products I wore this month. Not a lot. And I don't know what happened because there wasn't a lot of variety. I was just reaching for the same 3 things all month. Just so you know. Sometimes I really want to make my lipstick collection work for me. And sometimes I'm a bit lazy and I'm like, oh, I'll just put on a lip balm. This Rhode lip balm was new to me though. It's the Peptide Lip Tint in Salty Girl, right? Salty Tan, that's what it's called. And this is beautiful. I really, really like this. It's been living in my work bag and I just throw it on and it's really beautiful. So loving that. The other one I've reached for a lot again is Laid Back Lilac from Revlon. It's why it's in this cubby. I might as well just keep this front and center in my makeup collection. Like just always keep it in this cubby and not put it back into my lipstick drawers because that's how often I wear it. Then I wore my Jelly Stilo from Kiko in shade 508. This is such a beautiful, like, slightly deeper warm tone, but mauve tone, I should say. And this is absolutely gorgeous. And it's also very much like a lip balm. But then I started wearing the Rhode and I started wearing that a little bit more often. But yeah, this is beautiful as well. And then I was wearing this Shall We Makeup lip gloss type of thing. I thought that this was a different shade, but this is actually Lacrimosa, and I did wear it in a video. I don't think these shades are like great for me for every day. Like I will not like leave the house per se with this shade on, but it's good to experiment, I feel. And then the other day I finally got stuck into Dahlia by Milani, and this is such a good darker shade, but it's not overwhelming. It's like a really good darker berry and nice cool tone. And then if you saw the videos that went live this weekend, you will have seen me wear this little combo Velvet Ribbon by Lisa Eldridge with a little bit of the Jazz lip liner because that's a great combo to have. And yeah, I just really enjoy wearing some brighter, fun lip colors again, especially if my eye look is a little less intense. So let's go into my makeup drawer to select some new things. And if you know anything about what this drawer normally looks like, you know that there's quite a change. There were some things that got a little overcrowded, so now that it's post-declutter, I'm really happy with what this looks like. I managed to put all of my cream and liquid blushes that are in here, that are in compacts or sticks in here. I've got some of the bulkier things down here. Foundation is over here to this side. I don't think you can really see, but here's the foundation. I've got primers down here with some setting sprays and then some like pot concealers down here. The rest of my concealers are here. Some travel bits, powders. We have bronzers, highlighters, and powder blush. So let's see what I would like to go for this time round. So I was saying I need to use these Essence products more. So these are the Silky Blur foundation and concealer, and I do want to test them in a little bit more. They were quite light for me, but when I did the full face wear test and when my makeup was done, I felt it didn't look too offensive. And with foundation and concealer, before I feel I can like make my mind up about it, I feel I need to give them at least a week or two worth of wear to really see how I feel. I want to wear this at least to a work day in like a sweaty workout class or a dance class just to see how it holds up when I put it under stress. So I want to test this out a little bit more, but I already know that these are at my favorite because these felt a little bit weird going onto the face. Like I could really feel it sitting on my face. That feeling did go away in the end, but it did have to, like, it needed a lot of time to settle down. So I'm still using the Kosas powder for another month, so we don't need a new powder. For bronzer, do I want anything else? It's March, so it's a good time to go in with my Solar Powder Bronzer by Soap & Glory. So we'll use that. And I'll use my Kiko stick for the creamy version because I just like that. And I think that's a good like spring little combo. For highlighter, I think I want to go in with my Rare Beauty. This is the Enlighten highlighter. This is their powder highlighter. And I really like that. But I did, in my declutter, realize that that's like my favorite shade of highlighter. This like not quite gold, not quite white, not quite champagne sort of. Yeah, I've got that shade like 5 or 6 times in my highlighters. It's a bit bad, but it's okay. It's okay. I know what I like, you could say. And I think I want to use the glass-like highlighter stick a little bit more from Catrice because I feel this is a really good alternative to some of my favorites that expired in the past couple of years. So I really enjoy the Glossier Halo Scope in Quartz, but that shade has been out of stock for almost a year now, it seems, because I decluttered that last year because it expired and I haven't been able to find it since. And the RMS Beauty Living Luminizer, I would repurchase that at some point. But knowing now how easily and quickly that expires, I'm like, maybe I should just stick to a drugstore option that's just really similar. So I think that's nice. So I have a powder and a cream highlighter. I do want to do some like rosy looks towards the end of the month, I think. So I think this is going to be pretty too. This Catrice highlighter, I think I'm going to use a little more of. I think this is going to be my blush selection. Well, these are all brand new to me. I haven't reviewed any of these yet. But my Soft Baked blush from Essence in Berry Bliss. Go and hang out there. This is really pretty, but I only like use it really quickly in a first impression, so I still want to make up my mind about that. The Road, this is the Pocket Blush in Sleepy Girl. See, I'm messing up the name of the lip product and the blush because they're so similar. Salty Tan Sleepy Girl. Oh well. My Young Seimul Cushion blush that I really like the look of. It's in the shade Odd Mauve. And it's this really pretty, like, soft, cool tone mauvey shade. I think this is going to be really pretty with some of the more neutral looks I will be doing this month. And then the other blush that is new from Essence, the Blush Crush Cherry Kiss. This is really pretty as well, and these go really well together. I already tested that out in my first impression review, and these are very pigmented. And I think that's everything from this drawer, so let's have a look and put the drawer back together, and then I'll show you what eyeshadow palettes I will be using. And that's the drawer all put back together. I'm gonna have another fun month playing with some makeup. I just know that, but I'm also going to have fun playing with eyeshadow, let me tell you. I always select some eyeshadow palettes that I want to use again, and I really want to go like rosy, spring vibes, ethereal, whimsical, and I decided to go with these. So let me show you. Romand Mahogany Garden. This is really, really pretty. It is a warm tone, but because it's these beautiful shimmers it has, I really feel this is so beautiful for spring. And because it's K-Beauty eyeshadow, it's not super pigmented and intense in your face. And I don't always love that. And I have a couple of things selected in the new palettes I will be trying, as you will see, that are going to be very intense and out of my comfort zone, you could say. So it's nice to have a nice, safe option that I know works for me, that I can fall back on if I just want to do something really quick and easy. And this is going to be lovely. For the rosy sort of whatever vibe I want to go for, I thought Melt Cheese in Parties. Now this can be really, really dark if you want. You can make this pretty grungy and mauve toned, or you can stick to this side of the palette and make it a little bit more whimsical and ethereal. And I think I want to go for these shades here for the springtime. I also really like this because it has that warmth in, but She's in Parties. It's of course discontinued, but it's still a really, really good one. And I was like, I need to use that again. This is another palette that I had already clocked. I filmed my winter palettes video in January and I said how good this palette is for transitioning from winter into spring, and I feel that that's the vibe I want to go for. So this is the Mercury Retrograde by Huda Beauty, long since discontinued, but especially these like turquoisey purples. I think I want to play with that to make it like super colorful. You get some warmer neutrals in here and also some rosy tones. So this is really going for like really tying into the vibe I'm going for. But I watched a video. It was like over the Christmas time, I checked out some of the recommendations that you guys gave me in a tea time chat because I felt a little bit like bored with the channels I was subscribed to, and a lot of you shared your recommendations with me. So I checked a couple of those out, and Ashes on My Lashes, I think she's called. I don't remember her true name, but that was her channel name. And she was wearing this really beautiful look with this like goldy tone going into these like turquoisey greens, and I was like, that looks pretty, and I think I can mimic that sort of look with this palette. Fairy Frolic by Unearthly. At the time I bought this, they were still called Alien Cosmetics, and I think this is very spring coated. Again, you can make this very grungy if you pull in some of these darker things, but this lime green, it's speaking to me. This mustardy yellow is really pretty. This like purpley sort of shimmer. This is their very old formula, but I still love these, so I wanted to go back to them again. Is there any more spring palette than the Natasha Denona Retro Glam? As you will see, in March, when I declutter my eyeshadow palette collection, I did decide to declutter some Natasha Denona. But this is still a banger, you know? And I'm like, it's got the rosy tones that I'm really craving, but also those grayish green tones. I know this is going to be beautiful for spring. And finally, the Magnetic Mineralia by Devaroon Cosmetics, or Diveroon Cosmetics. I never know how to pronounce it. But they've announced a new palette, the Silver and Cold. And I want that palette really badly. But in the meantime, I think I'm going to use this. And I'm now looking at these shades. And I said in my new makeup releases video that you saw on Sunday about the Bella Beauté Bar Deadly Roses, that if I pulled a couple of like yellowish green tones into my smoky glam that I already own from the brand, that I would be able to recreate the kind of looks you could get out of the Deadly Roses too. And I think I have those shades in this palette. So and also here with the like purpley tones, maybe these tones with some of the She's in Party tones. I think I can make that look work for me in a different way than you might expect. So Magnetic Mineralia is that girl. It was my favorite palette of 2025, so I knew I wanted to go back to it very, very quickly. And then these are the palettes I will be playing with in March, and I just know that once I get through this, the overwhelm that I felt at the end of 2025 with some of the new in things that I got in, like there was a lot. Some of it was sent to me in PR. Some of this was sent in to me in PR. And I just felt so overwhelmed. But now that I've gone through February and I was able to make a good dent into what I had gotten in over the past couple of months, I started to feel a lot better. And I know that once I get through these, I'm going to feel even better. So it's 6 palettes with also quite a few pans in some of these palettes. But March is a slightly larger month, so like as in like how many days there are. So I think it's going to be easier for me than when I did February. But yeah, I've got my 3 new Viseart palettes here. I'm very much looking forward to playing with these. So this is just to balance it out because the other palettes are going to be a lot more intense, as you will see. I'm actually a little bit afraid of some of those. But we have the Praline Étendue, which is all browns, very neutral, very basic. But I think it's going to be really pretty with some of the softer things I've selected for the face products as well. And then the new Paris Nuit Étoile, I have the old A-pan, and this just has some softer shades in that I was missing in the original. So this is absolutely beautiful. I do keep the protective layers in there. You can rip them out if you want because they have the perforation, but I don't want my packaging to get all dirty. So I will keep them in, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this because all of these shades I love, but it was so dark that everything turned into a smoky eye for me. But this just has some more interesting shimmers, and yeah, it's good that this is now a 12 pan. and the Violette Nocturne that they came out with at the end of 2025. This looks really pretty. It's sort of like the softer version of the original Violette that we got, a little less purple, but it still has a very sort of neutral purple vibe to it. It does have some warmth, but I don't feel it has a lot. With Viseart, you usually get like a mix of both warm tones and cool tones. They do this in every single palette. Then I thought that this was just going to be beautiful for spring. It's very much that sort of pastel-y, whimsical vibe, so that's why I wanted to play with the Bella Beauté Bar Crystallized. This is the palette I had to wait for a long time. It didn't get to Monolith very quickly, so I think I was able to put in an order with them. Like, I was able to use a discount code that I got from them, so I didn't pay for all of those things with my own money, but I placed that order and didn't get here until like a month later. So this came in a little bit late, but how beautiful is this for spring? It's giving Mercury retrograde, but softer and a little bit more cool tone. So I thought that this was going to be beautiful for this time of year. But this is a lot of pans. So it's a lot of pans, as is. And this is where we get a little bit, like where I'm getting a little bit nervous. This is the Haunt Me palette from Blend Bunny. This looks beautiful, 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 beautiful. But as with every Blend Bunny palette, I do think there are some shades in here that I personally feel I didn't necessarily need. And especially this shade, it pulled very coral on me in the swatch, whereas these are more like true reds with a little bit of brown. So I felt there was too much of a clash on my skin tone anyways between the 4 reds that are in here. But the reason why, like, I love Blend Bunny's formula. I just think they do such a good thing. So I want to love them more than I do. And I do think that in terms of like a Blend Bunny color story, these shades are all gonna work for me. And you can of course stick to the different quads if you like, but I can really see like overlap between this. And I love it when brands make it so easy for you to like create looks with it. So the Haunt Me palette I'm really excited for, but I am a little bit nervous of what this will look like on my face. And then some more reds, but this has some more grays in as well. This is the Death palette from Cosmic Beauty, the Death Tarot palette, I believe it's called. This is a little bit more vibrant than the Blend Bunny one is, but you get some lovely like gray tones up here. You do have a little bit like warmer browns here, but I think, I don't know, in my brain this just makes a lot of sense. And I can see like different 6 pans in here, but also some different quads. Like how beautiful are these purples clashed with the reds in here? Or if you want to tone the reds down, I think you can pull in like the yellowy tones that it has, go in with the gray tones with the reds for a super grungy look. Like there are just so many options. So yes, the reds make me nervous. Yes, these palettes are a little bit more out there than what I normally go for. But like, as you guys know, I've been on a more creative streak with my makeup in the past couple of months, or weeks really, and this is really tapping into that sort of thing. So I'm like, oh, I really, really, really want to try this. Of course, there are still a couple of palettes that came in that same order. If you saw I think it was my February haul, but I will be testing those out in April. I am only one person. This is what I think I can still review, and then also go back to those older things within a given month. I'm still gonna have to work hard for this. There are gonna be days where I think I'm gonna have to switch my eye look a couple of times just to make sure I can do the reviews. But yeah, if you don't know, by the way, if you don't know anything about my reviews, if I, for instance, have, let's take this Blend Bunny palette, 24 eyeshadows, this is easily 6 looks for me. If I just stick to the different quads that this gives you, and I like to try out every single pan of eyeshadow before I review it. So, and then I also like to do a wear test. I know Blend Bunny formula is excellent. I've never experienced fallout with them or creasing or anything like that. So I know this is probably going to be okay. But even with palettes that I've never tried, even if it's a brand I love and I know their formula really well, I do like to give things a wear test as well, so that almost every single look I do wear tests with as well. So I wear them throughout the day, and I live my life wearing these looks, and go work out, go to dance classes, just like with the foundations and stuff. I really like putting my makeup through its paces. So thanks so much for being here today. Thumbs up this video if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more by me. I make 4 videos a week on this channel and once a week on my other channel. That's called Floating in Books. You can find a link to it in the description box down below. And then I really hope you enjoy the rest of your day. You can check me out on other social media if you want to in the meantime. And then all that rests me is to say take care, have a good day, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye-bye.